Hi everyone, welcome to another Yarn Scrap Friday with me, Laura, and this week we are making boats. And for this boat we are going to be using some, I think, DK light worsted weight yarn. You can use any yarn that you like, and you're going to need two colours if you want to have a little variation in your boat. And with that we're going to be using a 3.5mm E4 crochet hook, and you're going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle as usual. Yarn needle as well, with a big eye at the end. And you're also going to need a pipe cleaner as well, and I've just chosen a white pipe cleaner, so you're going to need a white pipe cleaner as well. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our base colour here, which is I'm using for the sails as well as the bottom part of the boat. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 11. Okay, so we're going to do our little slip knot, and then we're going to chain 11. So slip knot. Chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we've chained 11. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 single crochet in our second chain from our hook, our second stitch from the hook. Now, second stitch, we don't count the loop on our hook. There's our first stitch and there's our second stitch. So in there, we're going to put our hook in there. We're going to do 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet and go back in there again into the same chain and do another single crochet. Okay, so you've got 2 single crochet, it's in US terminology, in your second stitch from hook. And then what we're going to do is we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to go into the next chain, the next stitch, and do a single crochet. Okay, then the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet. And as you can see, as I'm working these stitches, I'm just working under one bit of yarn. You see, I'm just going underneath that just one bit of yarn. And the reason I'm doing that is because it makes it easier to see the stitch when we need to come back in the opposite direction. You'll see in a bit. So in the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over. As you can see, I'm just going under sort of that left side of the V. Each little chain is like a little V shape. If you can see there, I'm just going under the sort of left side of the V, just under one bit of yarn to do my stitch. Let's do a half double crochet in that next stitch, then a half double crochet in the next stitch, and a half double crochet in the next stitch. So you've done 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, like so. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, again just going under that one bit of yarn, do a double crochet, pull through 2, pull through 2, then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, then that should leave you with 1 stitch at the end. You should have 1 chain left, and in that end chain we're going to do 5 double crochets. Okay, we're going to do 5 double crochets. So yarn over and go into that very last chain and do 5 double crochets all in that same last chain. So 1, 2, all in the same last chain, 3, and another one, 4, and one more, 5, and all in the same last chain. And you can see your work has naturally sort of turned around in a clockwise direction, like so, which means we're now ready to go back in the opposite direction and work into these same chains again. And hopefully, if you've just worked under one bit of yarn, you should see this other side of the V quite easily there, which should make it easier to see your chains again in the opposite direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that in reverse. We're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3. So if you're new to working in your foundation chains, I'll put a link in the description to my video that shows this in more detail and how to find the stitches. But you should be able to, if you've just worked under one bit of yarn, you should be able to just see the same stitches again. There's our first one. So just find that little other side of the V there, put your hook below, give it a little push, and you should find the same stitch. So 1 double crochet in the next 3. So there's the first one. You see, it's a bit easier to see the stitch now. The next one, just moving along, you should see a little, see it opening up slightly. One double crochet in there. Okay, and the next one is just there. It's just at the bottom to the right of that right side of the V, as it were. So 1 double crochet in the next chain. Okay, so you've done 1 double crochet in the next 3. Then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 3. Okay, again, just place your hook just there, just next to your previous chain. And there. 1 half double crochet in there. Pull through all 3. Okay. 1 half double crochet in the next. See it there, just next to, there's the other one. There's the next one. 1 half double crochet in there. And 1 half double crochet in the next stitch as well, the next chain. Okay. Should have 3 chains left, and in the next 2 we're going to do a single crochet. So in the next one, do a single crochet. Single crochet in the next one. And the very last one should be quite obvious to see. There's the very last one. In that last stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet. Okay, we're going to do 2, just like we did at the beginning. So 1 single crochet, and back in there again, same one, same stitch, another single crochet. So you've got 2 in there. Okay, so it should look a little something like that, and you should have a stitch count of 25 by the end of that round. Now we're going to move on to the next round. And basically what we're going to do now is we're just going to work around and around. So working in the round now rather than rows. So you're just going to carry on going round. So we're going to go straight into the next stitch. Now the next stitch is at the very top, and if you can't see that stitch at the top, it probably just means you need to move your stitches over, because there should be a stitch at the very top of your little boat shape. So in that next stitch, going under both bits of yarn, there we go, going under both bits of yarn, we're going to do 1 single crochet in there. Slightly missed it there, but we'll just go with it. 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet. So we're just going straight into the next stitch, not joining around or chaining or anything like that. Go straight into the next stitch. 2 single crochet in there, 1 and another one in the same stitch. So you've got 2 in there. Okay, so you've got 2 single crochet in there. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3. Okay, so 1 single crochet in the next stitch. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so 1 single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 3. So 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and a half double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so 1 half double crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, a double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so that's 1 double crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 3 double crochet in the next stitch. So go into the next stitch and we're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, all in the same stitch, 2, and another one, 3, all in the same stitch. Okay, so you've got 3 in there. Okay, 3 in there, 3 double crochet. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 and another one in the same stitch, 2 double crochet in that next stitch. Okay, so you've got 2 in there, 2 in there. Then we're going to do 3 double crochet in the next stitch. So I'm going to start mirroring the other side now. So 3 double crochet in the next stitch. So 1, it's back into the same stitch, 2, back into the same stitch, 3. Okay, so you've got 3 double crochet in there. Okay, 3. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3. So we're going to mirror this side. So 1 double crochet in the next 3. 1. Next stitch. 2. Next stitch. 3. So 1 double crochet in the next 3. Then 1 half double crochet in the next 3. So half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and a half double crochet in the next stitch. Then 1 single crochet in the next 4 this time. So rather than in the next 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4. So single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet in the next stitch. And then you're at your last stitch, although it just looks like you could carry on forever, but you are back at the beginning because you can see your previous 2 single crochet there. So in this very last stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet. 1 and another one in the same stitch. Okay, so 2 single crochet in that last stitch. It should look a little something like that. It's like a beginning of a shoe. And you should have a stitch count of 32. Okay, 32. Now we're going to move on to round 3. But the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to slip stitch in the next stitch. So go into the next stitch at the top there. Just do a little slip stitch. Okay. Then we are going to work into our front loops only. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to chain 1. So just chain 1. And we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, but we're going to do it in the front loops only. So we're going to yarn over, and I'll show you in an obvious stitch here first. Normally we go under both bits of yarn there, but we're just going to go under this front loop only. So we literally just go under that front loop there, but we're going to start doing that in the same stitch that we just slip stitched into. So we're going to go back into that same stitch you slip stitched into, but instead of going under both bits of yarn, we're going to go under the front loop only, which can be a little bit fiddly. There we go, just under the front loop only, and do a half double crochet. Okay, half double crochet. So you've got a half double crochet under the front loop only, as well as your slip stitch in that first stitch. Then we're just going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, but in the front loop only. So in the next stitch, again, we just go under that front loop only. Okay, I'm going to do that all the way around. Just 1 half double crochet in each front loop around, back to the beginning. So you're keeping a stitch count of 32. Okay, just coming up to the last stitch, doing the same thing again, all the way around, front loop only. When you get back to the beginning, it looks like there's one more stitch there, so be careful of this one. This is what I call a fake stitch. It's there to trick you. If you count, you should have 32 stitches. You want to skip that fake stitch, skip that chain one and find your first proper half double crochet. Put your hook into there and do a little slip stitch to join the round. And by the end of that round you should have a stitch count, like I said, of 32. It should flip out this way, this direction, okay, like so. And you've got a nice little ridge around the edge of your boat now, like so. Then what we're going to do is we are going to chain one. It's quite similar. We're going to chain one. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in the same stitch we just slip stitched into, but we are going to work into the stitch as normal. So we're just going to go under both bits of yarn. So do 1 half double crochet in there, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, just working into the stitch as normal. Okay, so 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 32. Working into the stitch as normal. Okay, let's just do that and then I shall come back. Okay, just going back to the beginning, the last stitch, half double crochet there, and again it looks like there's one more stitch, but that is our little fake stitch there, and you can see your chain one just above. So find your first proper half double crochet stitch and put your hook into there. But instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to yarn over with our next colour so we can work this little different coloured rim. And you may find that it's popped out like this, and you might want to just pop it back in like that for now, so you make sure you're always working in the right direction. So we're going to get our new colour. In this case I've got some green. And instead of yarning over with the blue, I'm just going to put the green over my hook and hold it with my finger. Bring that through my first stitch, and then straight for the loop on your hook to do a slip stitch. And now we're working with our green, and we can just pull our tail ends, and you can cut your blue yarn if you want to, so you don't get tangled. And now we're working with the green. We'll do the same thing again, but we're going to do single crochets instead. So the first thing to do is we're going to chain one. I'm not going to count that as a stitch. I'm not going to count that as a stitch at all for the last few rounds. Probably should have mentioned that. Go back into the same stitch you just slip stitched into again, back into there, work into the stitch as normal, and do a single crochet this time. And we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 32. Back to the beginning. Okay, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around, back to the beginning. Okay, just coming up to last couple of stitches like so, and then when you're back to the beginning you might want to pop it out in this direction again so it's always facing away. Then skip that little fake stitch, it's actually very small because we've pulled our tail ends nice and tight. Skip the chain one, find that first single crochet that you did, and we're just going to slip stitch into there. Just join the round. Okay, and that's the end of our main boat. Okay, so we're going to cut our yarn and just pull it out like so. We're going to hide all our tail ends, and you should have a nice wider end this end and a narrower end this end for your little boat, like so. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn needle and just take your tail end, thread it on, And then you just want to sew through similar colours. So this very last one, I just go into that first single crochet, and I'm just going to come to the back of the inside of the boat, and I'm just going to sew through similar colours. So in this case the green, like so, then back in the opposite direction just to secure, and then you just trim the excess off. Like so. And I'm going to do that for the other tail ends, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so I've tied in all my tail ends, and now we're going to move on to our little sails. So we put our little main boat there. And the sails you can do in any colour. I'm going to opt for the same colour as the base of the boat, the blue. And these patterns for the sails, even though one's bigger than the other, they are the same. This one's just made with half double crochets, and this one's made with double crochets. I'll show you what to do. And the first thing to do is we're going to chain 6. My nails are too long. I have to trim my nails down, I think. I can't go with long nails and crocheting. Okay, so chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to start off with the smaller sail, which we're making with half double crochets. So the first thing we're going to do is do a half double crochet in our second stitch from hook. So again, we don't count the loop on our hook. There's our first stitch, there's our second. Just going to yarn over and go into that second stitch from our hook and do a half double crochet. Pull through all 3. And we'll do 1 half double crochet in each stitch along. So half double crochet in the next stitch. It's my stringy yarn I'm using. Half double crochet in the next stitch. Half double crochet in the next stitch. And a half double crochet in the last stitch. Okay, so your stitch count should be 5. Okay, you should have a stitch count of 5. Even though we chained 6, we should have a stitch count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1. I'm not going to count that as a stitch. It's just going to be a turning stitch. Then we're going to turn. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet the first 2 stitches together, because we want to get that triangle shape going down there. So we're going to yarn over and half double crochet 2 stitches together. We yarn over, go into that very first stitch, bring the yarn through, but then we stop, we yarn over again and go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through. So we end up with 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very stringy loops. Then we yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. It helps to face your hook downwards when you come through and give it little wiggles, then come back up. Then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the remaining 3 stitches. Okay, so half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the last stitch, which tends to be a little bit on its side. Okay, so make sure you grab both those loops, like so, and half double crochet in there. So you've reduced your stitch count now down to 4, because you've decreased 2 there down to 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing again, we're going to chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, and turn. But this time we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the first 2. So we do a half double crochet in the first stitch, because we want to keep our decreases this end, half double crochet in the next stitch, okay, and then we're going to half double crochet the last 2 together. So we yarn over, go into the second to last stitch, bring the yarn through, stop, yarn over, go into that last stitch. Oops. Again, it's on its side a bit. There we go. Bring the yarn through, got the 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Okay, and now your stitch count is down to 3. Chain 1, again, don't count that as a stitch, and turn. We're going to start off with half double crocheting the first 2 stitches together. So we yarn over, go into the first stitch, bring the yarn through, stop, yarn over to the second stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Okay, leaves us with 1 stitch, 1 half double crochet in that last stitch. Should be getting an idea of the sort of pattern now. Our stitch count should now have gone down to 2. Chain 1, don't count it as a stitch, turn, half double crochet these 2 stitches together. So yarn over to the first stitch, bring the yarn through, stop, yarn over into the last second stitch. Have I gone through that properly? There we go. Bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Got 1 stitch left now, chain 1, turn. We're just going to do 1 half double crochet in that last stitch, which is again sort of on its side a bit. There we go. So just 1 half double crochet in that last stitch, and then we finished. And there's our sail, and you can see all your decreases this side. We've created a little mini triangle. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of a tail tying on, just pull the yarn through. Okay, we're going to repeat that, but we're going to do it with double crochets for the bigger sail. So I'm just going to put that down there for a sec. Get our yarn again, and we're going to start off the same way. We're going to chain 6. Chain 6 to begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this time we're going to do a double crochet in our second stitch from hook, which I know is a little bit sort of anti-rules there because you work into different stitches depending on what you're working with, but we're going to be working in our second stitch from hook, so with double crochets. Such a rebel. So yarn over, don't count the loop on your hook. There's the first stitch, there's the second. Into there, a little bit fiddly. Do a double crochet. Pull through 2, pull through 2. We're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch across this time. So next stitch, double crochet, next stitch, double crochet, next stitch, double crochet, and the last one, double crochet in there. You should have a stitch count of 5, just like you did before, but we've got double crochets this time. Stitch count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one on the end is always a bit on the side. I'm going to chain 1 again. Don't count that as a stitch here and onwards. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to double crochet these first 2 stitches together this time, and to double crochet stitches together, we yarn over, go into the first stitch, bring the yarn through. Then we yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops as if doing a normal double crochet. Okay, but then we stop. We yarn over again and we go into the next stitch. Bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, then we've got 3 loops, we yarn over, pull through all 3, and that double crochets 2 stitches together, reducing 2 stitches down to 1. I'll show you that again though if you're new to it. Then just 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches. So double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, and a double crochet in the last stitch, which is always on its side, looking a bit lost and confused, making me confused. There he is. There we go. So we reduced our stitch count down to 4. Chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do 1 double crochet in the first 2 because we want to keep this side straight. So double crochet in the first stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the last 2 stitches we're going to double crochet these 2 together. So we yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we stop, yarn over to the last stitch, cut those stitches properly, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull for the first 2, these is 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. Our stitch count's now down to 3. Chain 1 and turn. This is our curved edge, so we need to double crochet the first 2 together. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull for the first 2 loops, stop, yarn over to the second stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull for the first 2 as normal, leaves you with 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then we're just doing 1 double crochet in the last stitch. Okay. We've reduced our stitch count down to 2. Chain 1 and turn, and we're going to double crochet these 2 together. So we yarn over, get into the first stitch, yarn through, yarn over, pull for the first 2, stop, yarn over into the last stitch, bring the yarn through, yarn over, pull for the first 2, leaves you with 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. Stitch count's now down to 1, chain 1, turn, and just do 1 double crochet in that last stitch. So just a 1 double crochet to finish. And there we go, there is our longer sail, doing the same technique, but because we use double crochets, it's bigger than the other one. Okay, so we're just going to cut our yarn, bring the loop through like so, and the next thing to do is we're going to get our little pipe cleaner. So bring your pipe cleaner in, and now it's just a case of putting it all together. So the first thing to do is we are going to put this through the middle of our boat. Okay, so find a central enough point in your boat. Go through there. Put 4 stitches about either side. Go through there, and then we're just going to, it helps if you've got some jewellery pliers and things. I'll just grab them. Okay, so I've got my little, some of these rounded jewellery pliers, which are really handy. I highly recommend just having these even if you don't do jewellery making, which I don't do a lot myself, because they're really handy for little projects like this. I'm just going to bend that over, and I'm actually going to flatten that a little bit, so make sure that's no sharp bits of wire sticking out, and it's just tucked flat on the bottom so it doesn't come away. That should be roughly in the middle of your boat, like so. Just push that down so it's nice and flat, and that shouldn't come through your boat. And the next thing to do is we are just going to take our little sails, and I don't know which one you want at which end. You might want the longer one at the front or the shorter one at the back, entirely up to you. And it's just a case of, we're going to, first of all, we're going to tie this tail end. You want to make sure that the straight edge is against the pole and then the curved edge is away. I'm going to take this tail end, take your yarn needle and sew it to the front of the boat. Okay, so this is the bottom tail end, and find the front of your boat. We're just going to roughly tie it to the front of our boat. Sew it on a couple of times. Like so, and then you can hide your tail end after. There we go. Just tie it on a couple of times, and then you can hide your tail end after. And then making sure that you've got a nice right angle, you want to sew this around your pole. So we're going to take our top tail end and just wrapping it around the pole, helps keep it on camera, just wrapping it around the pole, and then going to sew through top, like so, like that. Okay, and do that a couple of times, just wrapping it around, coming through to neaten, and again one more, sewing through and then that's secured to your pole. And again, then we just hide our tail end by just sewing through our sail gently without pulling. Back in the opposite direction, then trim the excess. And basically just do exactly the same for the other sail. We do that for the other side. So the bottom end, make sure the straight edge is against the pole. Tie the top end, it's going to be a bit lower, so it's not going to be the same height. And sew that to the back of the boat. I shall do that and I'll come back and show you the finished boat. Okay, so I've finished sewing and tying on the second sail. As you can see, it's a little bit lower than the taller one. All that's left now is to trim down, obviously, your pipe cleaner. So we're going to get some wire cutters. Got some here. I'm just going to leave a little bit of an edge, an end, and then just take that off. And then again, obviously that's a little bit sharp, so I'm just going to fold that over, create a little loop on the top, and you could always create a little flag if you wanted to. And there we go, there is our little finished boat, like so, and it can go with our other little boat here. And this will go great with my my crochet along, which has been going on for a while now, actually, adding extra bits for a crochet road playmat, and I'll put an image over the top of this video so you can have a look. And I'm currently working on a little beach, and I'm thinking of adding a marina as well, and these boats would be perfect for that. So if you want to go check out all those patterns, I'll put links in the description. And I will see you soon for some more crochet fun. And I've got about 42 seconds left on my camera, so that was good timing. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you managed to follow along. Cheers for watching, guys. Bye. Remember to subscribe and leave comments, because I love hearing what you think. Cheers, guys.